All right, ladies and gentlemen, the awards are official. We have the MVP, we got the Coach of the Year, we got the Rookie of the Year, we got all that fun stuff, and we're going to talk about it in this video here. Matthew Stafford won MVP. Very close race, actually, compared to Drake May. The world, social media is up in array because you have a Justin Herbert MVP vote, and he tweeted about it. It's got like 15 million views, doesn't have too many likes, but Herbert got an MVP vote. I think Josh Allen got 2. So Drake May was extremely close to being this year's MVP. And like I said, because of Sam Munson, the internet is up in arms. And we're going to talk because I've personally never, ever cared about awards. Like I should have not exited out of that article. I had the former MVPs pulled up on a list here. I had all the MVPs, and I had to look back at the MVPs. So that's kind of the gist I'm going here. I cared one time about it, and it was Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady, and I'm trying to think of what year that would have been. I think I was just finished school, about to finish school. It had to have been like the 2021-2022 season. That can't be right at the same time. I'm so confused with the years. But the last MVP Aaron Rodgers won, Tom Brady was neck and neck with him, and that was the only time I ever cared because I'm a Packers fan, Aaron Rodgers was my quarterback, I wanted Rodgers to win another MVP, and to be honest with you, Tom Brady probably should have won it that season. So the whole complications, and I've never cared about these awards because I don't really know the full set criteria. There's not, like, you have people voting, right? There's not like, all right, is it analytical and statistical? Is it record? It's inconsistent. It's people putting in these votes, so it's inconsistent, right? And there's egos involved, and like Bill Belichick just missed the Hall of Fame, and then you have got one side saying, well, he should have missed the Hall of Fame because of the Deflategate and all this crap and blah, 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 and then you've got the other half saying, how is Bill Belichick not in the Hall of Fame? MVP-wise, I personally think Drake May was the most valuable player in the NFL this past season. I think Matthew Stafford was the most talented player in the NFL this past season, and it's like, are we doing the analytical thing where the Rams didn't even win their division? They went 12-5, which is a good record, but they didn't even win their division. And Matthew Stafford, just because he's a little bit old and he's got only like one of the best coaches in the NFL, and he's only got maybe one of the best wide receiver duos in the NFL, and Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua, his statistics were great. So are we doing the statistics, or are we doing actual impact and value? Because that, to me, is where Drake May comes in. But we're going to do, I don't even know all the awards. I've got the Athletic article here, and I'm just going to go through it. I saw Myles Garrett won Defensive Player of the Year, and I don't really think anyone was going to debate that. Josh McDaniels won Assistant of the Year. And let's see here, followed by Vance Joseph at 10, Brian Flores at 8, Clint Kubiak at 3, Vic Fangio at 4, and Josh McDaniels had 17 first place votes. So I've got this everyone, I should get rid of this Raiders thing. Everyone thinks I'm a Raiders fan. Every video I've ever made, more so on like TikTok and Shorts, like I say a comment and they bring up how I'm a Raiders fan. I'm not a Raiders fan. It's the first team I covered in the NFL. And coincidentally, Josh McDaniels was, the head coach in that tenure. And so I had a really bad taste in my mouth from Josh McDaniels because I just don't think he is a leader of men. I don't think he's a head coach. He's not my ideal head coach. But he's a heck of an offensive guy. He's a heck of a motivator. He's so good. Like, Tom Brady loves him. He is so good at the small stuff. He is such a good offensive mind that a lot of these guys we just named, like Vic Fangio, I think is suited for a defensive coordinator role. Brian Flores, honestly, probably could be a head coach, but, he made some mistakes, I guess. I don't really know, though, even that whole situation. Vance Joseph, I think, is more of a, DC. Josh McDaniels, this is extremely well-deserved, and it's a huge reason why Drake May was an MVP candidate. There's this old debate. Sorry, I'm feeling a little bit tight. There's this old, by the way, hit that like button, hit that sub button. I love, you guys are watching these videos. We're trying to hit 200 subs by the end of February. I get like a comment here and there. I love reading your guys' comments and interacting. I want to build a community on this channel. So it would, if you want to comment, thank you. There is, and we've talked about it on this channel a couple of times. I might even make a video on Will Upton about this. There is a lot of merit to the case of a play caller is more important than your quarterback. And I think Josh McDaniels I mean, this is so unbelievably well-deserved, and, we'll talk about Drake May here in a second. Tetairoa McMillan won Offensive Rookie of the Year. I was about to make a video this morning talking about Tyler Shuck winning Rookie of the Year because I saw some stupid gambling thing. What are those things even called? I like the idea of gambling like $10 on the Super Bowl. I'm a golfer. I like the idea of putting like $20 on the 4 majors. The amount of people I know directly and indirectly that have lost all their money gambling is ridiculous. I've turned down every gambling sponsor I've gotten in the last year or two. I thought Tyler Shuck won because the slip, there it is, that's the word. Somebody put the slip of Tyler Shuck, as one of their 18,000 parlays, and I thought it hit. And it didn't hit, and it was Tetairoa McMillan. And Tetairoa is the Rookie of the Year. It's such a stupid argument. Tyler Shuck, I think, would have led the Saints to the playoffs. Tyler Shuck, I think, would have probably been the Rookie of the Year. He's a quarterback as well. But I think he would have been a Rookie of the Year if he started all season. But Tet, 6'5", 212, 70 catches, 1,000 yards, and some change, 7 touchdowns during the regular season with Bryce Young. Let's see here, 41 first place votes. Second place was Tyler Shuck with 5. So I guess that was really out there. But Tetairoa and the Carolina Panthers made the playoffs. And without Tetairoa McMillan, the Carolina Panthers, I do not think make the playoffs because he's a star wide receiver. I mean, he's a star wide receiver. Joe Thuney won Protector of the Year for my Bears fans. A bunch of my buddies were throwing it in the group chat. He's such a great offensive lineman. Let's see if there was anything. He beat out Garrett Bowles, Quinn Binet, Aaron Brewer, Creed Humphrey. Is this his first? I feel like this is his first Protector of the Year because he's got 4 Super Bowls. I mean, the offensive line for the Chicago Bears, it's not just Joe Thuney, but, he's creme de la creme. He's a beast, so I don't think there's much debate there at all. Christian McCaffrey wins Comeback Player of the Year. I kind of always, forget this is an actual award. CMC had a phenomenal season. I had him in fantasy football, and I had to take that gamble on him at, whatever draft pick I had, like 10 or 8 or whatever it was, and I drafted Christian McCaffrey, and I held my fingers, or I crossed my fingers all season, and it worked out, and he had a great year. Like I said, I kind of forget this is an actual award. Looks like Aiden Hutchinson came in 9th, or in 2nd with 9 votes. McCaffrey had 31. Dakota had 6. Trevor Lawrence had 2. Stephon Diggs had 1 or 2. I don't even know if it matters. But Christian McCaffrey, Comeback Player of the Year. Mike Vrabel, Coach of the Year. So there's been a little bit of debate with this. And it's difficult. Anytime I even talk about Drake May, so many people. So I've made a bunch of TikToks on this, with Drake May specifically winning MVP. And there's a lot of people saying, well, how valuable is Drake May if he played, why wasn't he MVP? Why'd the Patriots win 4 games last year if Drake May's MVP? Is it more Vrabel? I don't really know, what constitutes what. If we're talking year-to-year turnarounds, Mike Vrabel did a phenomenal job. If these are regular season awards, I feel like maybe Liam Cohn should have been in that list. I think he was on that list. But I've made so many Drake May, I thought Drake May was the MVP, and so many people have said, well, look at the playoffs. It's a regular season award. But Mike Vrabel is well-deserving of Coach of the Year. I think Mike McDonald also is well-deserving of Coach of the Year. I think Liam Cohn is well-deserving of Coach of the Year. I think Kyle Shanahan's well-deserving of Coach of the Year. And I think Ben Johnson's well-deserving of Coach of the Year. Don't give me an MVP or Coach of the Year vote, because what the heck do I know? But yeah, Mike Vrabel won. All right, they went 4-13 last year. They went 14-3 this year. They're in the Super Bowl. It's a regular season award, but they were the number 1 seed or the number 2 seed in the AFC, and they won 4 games last season. So I don't even know. If it was me, I probably would have gone Mike McDonald. But I guess they were 10-7 last season, so not crazy of a turnaround. Like I said, I'm not really sure of what the criteria is. Carson Schlesinger wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. I'm assuming this isn't close. Nick Manwari had a nice season. Carson had 40 first-place votes. Manwari had 7. James Pierce had 2. Xavier Watts had 1. Abdul Carter had 1. JSN won Offensive Player of the Year. I don't think there was... it looks like it was close. CMC had 12 votes compared to JSN's 14. Puka had 8. I don't think there's too much debate there. League leading... almost 1,800 yards, 10 touchdowns, 119 catches. Like, you know what I mean? I don't really have opinions on these. And then we finally have Matt Stafford win an MVP. Bobby Wagner won Walter Payton Man of the Year, and 17th season, 4,700 yards, 46 touchdowns. It's his first MVP. Yeah, I just truly don't care, and I feel like I should care, but I really don't. You know, I feel as if MVPs are usually a year late. Like, let me pull up this goddamn list because I had it ready for this video. NFL MVPs over the years. So Josh Allen won last year. All right, 2024 MVP, and he had a good season, 28 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. I feel personally like, you know, he probably should have won it in 2020, but then who won the MVP in 2020? Aaron Rodgers won it in 2020. Lamar won in 2023, and if I'm not mistaken, his 2022 statistical season was better, or maybe it was 2020. Mahomes won in 2022, Rodgers won in 2020, and in 2019, I just don't really know. I miss when like Sean Alexander and LaDainian Tomlinson were winning MVPs. They were running for like almost 30 touchdowns. I think 28 and 29 were the two statistics, and 18 plus 100 rushing yards a game. I just don't really care about these awards. And like I said, maybe it was more NBA, but I felt like the NBA MVP awards were always almost like a year late. And then you have stuff like, it's so annoying. Like, how many straight MVPs has Jokic won? And then I think they replaced him last year with Shea. It's such a like mind fuck that I truly just don't care. But congratulations to all of the award winners. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Let me know if anybody got snubbed. And have a nice rest of your weekend. Goodbye.